Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All right, my name is Firefighter D, and I have a couple of my firefighter friends over here. And today we're going to tell you guys some super important stuff about what? Firefighting, fire safety, how you guys can be safe from fires, and how everyone that you know, hopefully, will be safe in fires after you teach them what to do, right? So, hopefully, every one of you in this room knows almost everything I'm going to tell you today, and everything that our firefighter friends are going to tell you, hopefully. And if you don't, you're going to learn something new, but more importantly, you're going to have more knowledge, and you're going to remember to teach other people, right? Because you guys are the older kids now. You guys have much more of a personal responsibility, right, to keep yourselves safe and to keep those that you love safe. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone in your community, right? So that personal responsibility isn't just, say, knowing how to stop, drop, and roll yourself. It's teaching that to other people in your family, right? Even your parents. Yeah, sometimes adults don't even know, and it's your guys' job as the older kids, the smart kids, to teach other people those things, right? So you guys, now that you're old enough and smart enough to get all that stuff and to have all this information down pat and to teach it to other people, we'll kind of expand on that a little bit, and we'll talk about a couple other things. And we'll review as we go along. How about this? The first thing, who here has one of these in their house? Yep, almost everybody. I'm glad. All right, that's really good. Who here has two? Who has three? Who has more than three? Good job. That is excellent. Who here maybe just has this thing in their house, hanging down, maybe some wires in it? Yeah, a lot of us actually do sometimes. Do you guys think that this thing works when it's just this ring, or does it have to work like this? Like this, right? Can you guys smell smoke when you're asleep at night? No. What does this thing do? Yep, beep, beep, beep. It's a smoke alarm. It alarms you when there's smoke. The smoke goes in that hole right there and on the hole on the sides, right? And then it makes a really loud noise, the beep, 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 right? Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to alarm you, wake you up if you're asleep, and let you know that there may be smoke and fire, right, in your house. So, which way does smoke and fire go, you guys? Up. You're absolutely right. Up. Smoke goes. Everybody say it together at once. Smoke goes up. Exactly right. Hot air and gas goes up, right? So if hot air and gas goes up and you don't want to breathe it, which way do we go? Down. Exactly right. Good job. Smoke goes up. We go down. So in your house, smoke alarms, are they high on the ceiling, high on the wall, or low on the floor? High on the ceiling. That's right. Exactly right. So we want to remind all of you guys that if you do not have any of these, that's really important that you go home and tell your mom, dad, aunts, uncles, grandparents, brothers, sisters, whoever you live with, to make sure you guys have some of these, right? So we hear sometimes kids, they'll come and they'll hear this presentation, they'll go home and they'll say, I heard your presentation and we got some smoke alarms, and guess what? There was a fire in our house and the smoke alarm woke us up. So that's really important, right? You guys want to wake up, be aware, and go out of your house in a safe way, which we're going to talk about in just a second, and go to your meeting place, which we'll also talk about. So, you hear the smoke alarm go off at night. Beep, beep, beep. You wake up. You know, I remember Firefighter D said not to stand up. I'm going to crawl low, crawl over to the door, and feel the door with what part of your hand, you guys? Back. Good job. Exactly right. You guys know the back part, because you don't want to burn your fingertips just in case the doorknob's hot, right? So you feel the door at the back part of your hand like this, right? And if it's super hot, you guys fling that door open? No way, right? Because what if there's smoke or fire on the other side? If it's not hot, of course, you can open it up a little bit, take a peek outside, and if it's safe, you can follow your escape route, which we're going to talk about in just a sec, and go out to your meeting place, right? If the door is super hot, we don't want you to open the door. What happens is, firefighters, once we get dressed in all of our firefighting gear, which you will see in a little while, we go into every single room, every single time there's a fire. We go to your house, we go around the house, we look in every window, every door, and we go into every single room, right? So if you're going to stay in your room like you're supposed to, we'll come get you and take you back to your family. If you have a window that you can open safely, just a little bit, no problem. You guys can put out a toy, a blanket, a pillow, a stuffed animal, whatever you have in your room. Because like I said before, firefighters go and we look around the whole building, the whole house, your whole apartment, wherever you live, and we look at every window and every door just to make sure. And we see a blanket, a pillow, a toy. We're like, somebody's in that one. We'll rush as fast as we can. But I do want to tell you guys that if you don't have a window, you can't open it. Maybe a lot of us, we have bars on the windows and you can't put anything out. No problem. Don't worry. Because we will go into every single room, every time, no matter what. All right, you guys. Smoke alarm, because smoke goes which way? Up. We go which way? Down. We crawl over the door, feel the door with the back part of our hand. Good job. And it's nice and clear. No problem. We open the door, take a peek out. All right. But now which way do we go? Here's the fun part. Who here, by a show of quiet hands, has an escape route out of their house already? Yeah, not very many people, right? Some people do. Good job. Right on. That's excellent. So it's really important to have an escape route. Because sometimes if there's fire in your house and the smoke's up here and all the nice, clean, fresh air is down here, and you're on your hands and knees, you're crawling low in smoke like you're supposed to, you're thinking, I should probably know the way out of my house. 2 ways. Maybe it's the back door and a window, maybe the front door and the back door, maybe 2 different windows that you have on the first floor that you can safely get out. Whatever it is, make sure that you know. You can even draw it on a piece of paper like a treasure map, an escape route. Make sure every single person in your family knows exactly how to get out of the house, right? So you do a good job. You crawl low in smoke. You go outside. And then what? Where's your meeting place? Is it the tree across the street, the store on the corner, your yard, your neighbor's house? Make sure everyone in your family knows exactly where to go, right? So then you guys can be reunited with your families as soon as possible. And firefighters, when we get there, if we rush into your room and you stayed put because the door is really hot, we'll grab you and we'll take you outside right to your meeting place. And, I know, right? Excellent. And you guys will be with your families as soon as possible, which is exactly what we want, right? So, your guys' job, make sure that you have, what's this? A smoke alarm, that's right. And make sure that they're high on the ceiling or low on the ground? High on the ceiling. And make sure that everyone in your house has an escape plan, right? That knows the escape plan. And make sure that everyone knows your meeting place, right? Those are really, really important things. I bet you guys already know what to do in this next case, but my friend, Firefighter Aram, is going to tell you guys a little bit more and give you a little quiz. Here you are, Firefighter Aram.
Thank you, sir. All right, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. How was Fighter D? Pretty good, right? Did you like that? Excellent. Okay, so he's been talking to you guys a lot about personal responsibility. You guys are in what grade? Fourth and 5th. So I'm assuming when you wake up in the morning, mom and dad aren't brushing your teeth, right? No? You guys brushing your own teeth? I hope. Yeah, because we don't want to have stinky breath, right? Perfect. So having personal responsibility and being at your age, we're doing a review. You guys know all this stuff. So we're going to go through a couple of things to make sure that we're still on the same page. And he was talking about something that you guys have probably seen before. We're going to go back to his example of going through the house if there's a fire and getting to your meeting place, right? Say you're going past your kitchen and there's a little bit of fire. Who wears PJs at night? You guys wear pajamas? Perfect. They're supposed to be flame retardant, but sometimes they can catch on fire, right? So if we had a piece of clothing catch on fire, what would be the 3 plus there's a bonus things that we would do if a piece of our clothing caught on fire? My man with the lime green. Stop, drop, and roll. Who can give me the bonus answer? Yes. Okay, we're going on to the next one.
Take off your shirt or whatever.
No, we would do that later. But what we would do, add our bonus piece, is cover our face. And why would we cover our face? Yes. We don't want smoke in our nose. One of our most valuable assets is our lungs and our hearts, right? Air comes in through our nose and our mouth. If we've got smoke and fire around us, that's not good for anybody to breathe. I mean, you're at a barbecue, you smell some nice smoke. Hamburgers, love them. But smoke and a fire, nobody wants to breathe that. And that's the thing. Firefighters, we're just like you. A little bit bigger, a little bit more experience, cooler gear, but we breathe the same air as you guys do, right? Our skin burns just like your skin burns. So, who here, since this is review, can show me how to stop, drop, and roll? And bonus, cover your face. I think you could probably do this since you didn't know the answer. Come on up. I'm going to have you hop up on the stage, and I'm going to need a girl who can outshine this guy. Yes, right here. Okay. So we're going to see some super freak rolling right now, right? Okay, so when you catch fire, actually, have you guys ever started a fire, like at a campfire or something like that? Or seen someone do it? What do you see the people do when they're trying to get the fire going? That would take a long time. But when you get down next to a fire, you see people going, and they start blowing the fire. Why do you do that? Yes. Get the fire bigger. Fire is like people too. It breathes air. So the more air that fire has, the bigger the fire gets. So, what's your name, bud? Ben. So let's pretend Ben's pants catch on fire. Ben, okay, is Ben doing the right thing there? No, because doing this does what? It adds more air. Do we want more air on our fire on our pants? No. Would you run around, Ben? No. Why? What would that do? Add more air. We don't want more air on our fire. So we're going to pretend that Ben's pants are on fire. And what's your name, kiddo? Aisha. We're going to pretend Aisha's shirt right here on her tummy is on fire. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stop. Say it with me. And then roll with the face what? Ben, there you go, Ben. Okay, go. Is that the best you can do? Just your tummy, just your tummy. And Ben, just your pants. Man. Well, it was a good effort, but you guys understand what we're talking about, right? Just the part that's burnt, we want to put that part out, okay? All right, thanks to our volunteers. I'm about ready to give Ben the mic. Okay, so going back through our review quiz here, if Ben's leg is burnt and Aisha's tummy's burnt, it's probably going to happen if something catches fire, right? Which is why we do these presentations, because we don't want this to happen to you guys. If that skin is burnt, I want to hear a few of your ideas about what the best way to cool our skin down is. In the back. Boom. Okay, that's a great one. Any other ideas? What have you guys heard? Yes. Freezer, I hear ice. And yes?
You can put something cold on it.
Something cold, okay. Any other liquids or things that you guys have heard you should use for a burn? Yes. Oh, sorry? Jump in a pool, that would work. Okay, so a lot of times people would say things like butter is a good thing to cool down a burn. Weird. It's not true. And like we heard over here, ice. People say, oh, ice, it's going to cool it down really well. Have you guys ever opened the freezer and touched it and like had your finger stick to something? Yes. So a lot of people have. You ever seen the movie A Christmas Story? Yeah. And the kid sticks his tongue to the thing. And, yeah? Okay. So you're feeling me. So when you have a burn and you have a huge temperature difference, and you guys are learning about this stuff in science, right? Yeah. So a lot of times when your skin gets burnt, it gets really loose and it doesn't stick. See how this is nice and tight? Go ahead and pinch your arm. See how it all stays together? The problem is when you burn your skin, it starts to let go. And if you stick ice on there, that ice can stick to that skin and actually pull that off. Right. We don't want, I like my skin. You guys like your skin? I want my skin staying right where it is. So the right answer to this question is cool water under a tap. So if it's my arm, I turn the water on and run my arm under there to cool the burn. Because we want to slowly bring that temperature back down. Okay? Because you can do damage by going too quickly. So somebody says jelly, butter, spaghetti sauce. None of that stuff is a good idea. So let's say it together. What do we want to put on a burn? Water. Cool water. Cool tap water. Perfect. Okay, good. You guys are doing great. This is fantastic. How many of you have been to this presentation before? Really? Okay, good. Seems like most of you have been to the presentation. So this is probably a no-brainer for 4th and 5th graders. I know it's a teddy bear. What is it also? A toy, right? Who has a teddy bear at home? Don't be shy, boys. If you've got a teddy, I had a teddy bear till I was like 12. I loved it. His name was Teddy. I love the energy. I love the energy. We're going to go through and talk about your stuffed animals maybe later. This guy's name is Ross the bear.
Ross.
Yeah, look at him. He's got all the colors. So, can you guys play with Ross the bear on your own? Like, if nobody was around, could you play with Ross the bear? Yeah? I mean,
Think could be the other person.
you could do that. I want to hear 3 favorite toys. My man in the glasses. Okay, both you guys. What's your favorite toy? You don't know. Pooh Bear? Beautiful. What's your favorite toy? A tablet. Cool. What's your favorite toy? A watch? Overwatch. That's a video game, right? Cool. Well, it's a toy. You can play with it. You can do that by yourself, right? Excellent. Who knows what these are? Pliers. Classified as a tool? Is it a tool? It's a tool. So you guys are in 4th and 5th grade, right? Sometimes you can use tools, right? Yeah. With an adult, right? No? Who helps mom or dad or grandma or grandpa with, projects, building stuff, taking things apart? You guys have done that. And have you used tools? Right. Is it a good idea to use something like this by yourself? No. I'm glad you guys are getting that. So, can you play with this by yourself? Yes, all day long. Can you play with this by yourself? No. Probably a good idea to have a parent supervising or helping. Let's see. What are these? Matches. For New Year's, right. What is this? A lighter. So, would you guys consider these a tool or a toy? A tool. I want to hear some ideas. What can you use this tool for?
I think it's a toy because you can use it for
Negative. It's a tool because why? You can light candles on birthdays. Who's got a birthday coming up?
my birthday passed.
Cool.
My
Awesome.
birthday passed 6 days ago.
What else can we use lighters and matches for? Lighting a birthday cake. We've heard that one. What else can we do with these? Campfires, barbecues, all kinds of great things. Who loves to have a hot dog and a hamburger? Right? Maybe grilled corn. Who likes roasted marshmallows? Right? Oh my gosh, me too. The best. Without these 2 tools, mankind would not have gotten very far. Okay, so we need to have fire. Very important tool. Is it a tool that kids should play with by themselves? Ever? Ever? Never. Great. Okay, so we reviewed tools, reviewed toys. You guys can use toys. Can you use tools? No. So we're talking about a campfire. The campfire smoke goes which way? Up. And where's good clean air? Down. Okay, good. Just wanted to review. Perfect. So this is another tool. Does anybody have one of these in their house anymore? No. What's it called? A phone, right. Has anyone ever actually made a phone call with one of these? You have. Very cool. Who knows what this is? Everybody knows what these are, right? Who has one? Raise your hand. Wow. Yeah. So there's a special tool. There's a special tool, boys and girls. We're getting to the part where you guys are really important here, okay? Because again, you're 4th and 5th graders, and you have a lot of personal responsibility. So we talked about escape plans, which hopefully you guys will go home and talk to your families about to make sure that everyone knows what your escape plan is. But this tool here is something that you, as opposed to younger kids, are going to be able to use. When there's an emergency, what number do we dial? 911. Perfect. And you guys all know what a 911 phone call sounds like, right? Have you guys ever called 911? She's got it. Here, come up here and tell them. I want you to tell everybody. Okay, Aisha's going to tell you what happens when you call 911.
Hello, what's your emergency?
Exactly. So, thanks, Aisha. So, There are certain reasons to call 911. Who has a little brother or sister? Yeah. Do they irritate you? Do they bother you? Do they take your stuff? Right. So if your brother or sister takes your favorite toy or, loses the TV remote, do you call 911 for that?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. So if, say you are having, I don't know, cereal for breakfast and all the Lucky Charms, somebody eats all the marshmallows out. Do you call 911 for that? No. But if, for example, everybody has grandparents and older folks that they know and love, what if you see one of the people that you know and love that's an older person laying face down on the floor? 911. Definitely call 911. If you smell smoke in your kitchen, you go down to check it out, and you see fire ripping up the wall, because this is your house. Who likes their house? Yeah, I like my house too. If you see fire ripping up the wall in your kitchen, should you call 911? Yes. Okay, so here, guys, is the really important piece, okay? Because you're 4th and 5th graders, who knows their address? Who knows the phone number to mom and dad? So the second question you'll get after 911 operator says, what's your emergency? They will say, where are you and are you safe? Okay? So those are all things that you're going to need to know. So we're at Lawton School right now. If I called 911, I say, I'm in the auditorium at Lawton School, and there are people laying all over the floor, and we can't wake them up. Okay? So they're going to know to send an ambulance, right? Zombie apocalypse, definitely call 911. I don't know how much reaction you're going to get, but let's hope that never happens. So, again, personal responsibility is something that you guys have to have a little bit more of. If you don't know your address, please learn it. If you don't know your parents' cell phone numbers, please learn them because it's very important. So we've got tools and toys. Okay, so we talked about firefighters being just like you. Do you want to see some of our cool gear in action? Yeah? Okay, cool. Because again, we don't want to get burned when we go into a fire and help rescue people. So we've got Lieutenant Louie, also AKA Firefighter Patty, coming up. Do you guys want to see her put her gear on? Okay, sweet. You having fun, Aisha? You having fun?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you are. So, have you guys ever seen this before? Yeah. So the coolest part about these boots is that the pants are already attached. Do you guys kind of wish you had pants like that in the morning?
No.
You're late for school, you're running out, you guys stick the Eggo waffle in and pull them up?
What if it was a hot day and you're stuck with your boots?
That's a good question. So Firefighter Louie is going to take out her station boots, and then she's going to put on her fire or bunker gear. See how quick those things go on? Pretty cool, right? And she's got the awesome red suspenders. I mean, you can't have the outfit without the red suspenders. Who knows what this is? Yes, in the orange shirt. It's a hood, but you could pretend you're like a ninja and wear like a ninja mask. Who's ever watched NASCAR or any kind of road racing? You see the Nomex suits the guys wear? Same thing. It's a fire retardant mask.
I watched it because I have to wait for my TV to load.
And now she's going to put on her next piece of gear, which is her bunker coat. And all of these pieces of equipment are very, very fire resistant. There's also a barrier inside which keeps a lot of the smoke from getting into our skin because just like you guys, our skin is very sensitive. So do you think Firefighter Patty wants to have her hands burnt? No. And do you think, just like you guys when you're doing schoolwork, we do a lot of stuff with our hands in a fire? Yep. So she has some very special gloves that she's going to wear too after she puts on the rest of her gear. You like her helmet?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, right? So, we talked about air that we breathe, right? So when you go to a fire, you actually have to bring your own air. Just like the backpacks that you guys have, we have super cool backpacks that are a little bit heavy, but they come with their own air. Do you guys want to see her put that on? Yeah? 30. They're a little bit more than that. Depends on the... It's pretty.
Boys and girls, just a really quick review, because I want to make sure that you know that when we go into a fire, our skin can burn. So everything that we wear is protecting our skin. So what I'm doing here is everything's covered, and the reason why we wear this hood is a lot of times after we put out the fire, we have to see if the fire is behind the wall. So we have equipment that we use to pull open the wall to see if there's any fire inside, and a lot of times all the chunks of wood will come down and fall into our coat. So this is protecting our coat, our neck, and also our ears, because a lot of things like to fall. So you'll see later on, after I put this on, my next thing is I'm going to put in my air tank, and the air tank, I put on a mask, and then I'm going to put this hood to make sure that I'm protecting my ears and my neck. So a lot of times that's where firefighters would get burned. This coat actually has 2 layers, and it can catch on fire, but what the inside layer does is it's protecting all of that heat that's going to burn our skin. That's what it's protecting, any type of that really hot air from coming in and burning the skin. But we will still feel the heat, and when it's getting too hot, that's why we use our hose and our water to cool down the room. So now I'm going to put on my oxygen tank, and what it does is it's oxygen, like regular oxygen in here, but when I breathe it, because you guys are 4th and 5th graders, you guys get to learn a little more, it has a pressure reducing valve, so that when I take fresh air in, it's only giving me that fresh air when I take a breath in. It's not wasting. It's not coming out all at once. So when we come out of the fire engine, I'm dressed like this. I'm going to open up one of those doors, and then I'm going to open up the tank. So what you're hearing there is you're actually hearing air that was leaking. The driver of the fire engine of that day, before we start going at 8 a.m., he or she makes sure that they open up and test all of these tanks to make sure all of the connections are nice and tight. So now you don't hear that air anymore, because that's air leaking, and that's wasting air. This only lasts about 30 minutes, but if a firefighter goes in and breathes like this, they're only going to have 15 minutes of air. And when you're working with partners and you're going in for 15 minutes, once one person starts to run out of air, we both have to go out, and then we get replaced by somebody else. So here, it's like a backpack. It goes on. Backpacks have straps to make it tighter. It's going to make it tighter here. I also have a belt strap. I don't want my helmet to come off, so what I actually have to do is I take my mask, I take my helmet, I'm turning sideways to show you. This is where it's going to come hard to talk. Put this over my face, put my hood on, put my helmet on, and then I'm going to put on my gloves. And then I'm ready to go to work. Yep.
And one of the main reasons we do this full on and put her on air, so as we call it, is because if you're in a fire, I'm sure you guys have all seen them in movies. It's really loud and noisy, right? So we want you to see what Firefighter Patty would actually look like, and so you guys could hear exactly what it would sound like, because we would be in the room looking for you saying, fire department, is anybody in here? Okay, so would you run away from Firefighter Patty? Yes. No, well, you might. That'd be a bad idea. You want to go towards her, exactly, so she can help find you and get you out to safety. Okay, so any other questions about what we've gone over today? Yes. It gets really hot, especially if you're inside of a fire. Okay, so quick review. Hot air goes where? Up. Good air is where? Down. Firefighters breathe air like you guys, right? If we get burned, what do we want to put on our skin? Cold water. 911 is a tool and not a... And let's see here. Personal responsibility of teaching everyone in our house. So you guys have homework. When you go home, you're going to make sure that you have, 1, a smoke detector, and 2, that you go over your action plans and escape routes with your families, okay? All right, cool. We have time for questions or no? Okay, we got time for one more question, and a question is something that you want an answer to, not something you have the answer to already. Yes?
Is the air tank heavy?
It's pretty heavy, like 30 pounds, depending on the size of the bottle.
Yeah. So before we started the presentation, a lot of you said, well, how heavy is our equipment? So if you can imagine that my turnout gear is about 10 pounds, this is about 30 pounds, so it's 10 plus 30. We carry hose that is about 45 pounds, so 10 plus 30 plus 45. And then we have to carry a piece of equipment. So the hose is a piece of equipment, but we also carry something called irons. And the irons is an axe and another metal piece of equipment that we can use to open up the bars that cover your window. Or break into a door. And that sound that you're listening to right here, too, right here, this sound is when firefighters are injured, maybe we're inside and we're searching for something, maybe we fell down a hole, or maybe for some reason I passed out unconscious. If I don't move for 30 seconds, this sound will start beeping, and it won't stop beeping. And that will let my other firefighters know that one of the firefighters are down. So once again, I'm not going to move for 30 seconds so that you can hear that actual sound. And then we actually have something, and until I start moving, we go off. We have something called the pack tracker that once firefighter Patty has been located, like she's down, she's not moving, we go in, another group of firefighters, and they will go in and search for me using a tag that I have over here. So this will send out a signal to where I am. And that's one way to keep firefighters safe. And we didn't have that before 5 years. So it just gets better and better how to protect us. And when we get protected, then we can go in and search for you. So no hiding under beds, no hiding in closets, and make sure that when you see us, go hug a firefighter so we can get you out safely.
That's it. All right, thank you guys so much for being so attentive.
Thank you again for watching our Firefighters and Safety Education FISE presentation video today. Now that you watched the information, we ask that you take a second and please take a brief post-evaluation before ending today's session. Thank you so much.